Oh yeah.
That could be your height now.
There we go.
Oh, that way?
There we go.
How big right in this? How do I look?
You look good. You look good. Yeah. Megacon 2022, first day, baby. Let's go.
Correct?
Yes, sir.
Please don't use line strips on me.
I try not to.
Here, you know, you have to have a car regardless. So. There you go. Thank you so much.
It won't work on that. You have a good one.
Thank you so much. Love your costume.
I'm behind
you.
you.
Know who that is? She's a legit Power Ranger sitting right there before us. She's the Yellow Ranger. She's the one that took over when that Asian girl died. She's the one that took over.
Spider-Man, Spider-Man, does whatever a spider can.
Oh, it is. Hey. How's it going, brother? That's Jason Hughes. That's the guy with Jay and Jay from the South. Do you remember Kevin Smith? How I like him? That's his brother, pretty much brother.
You guys know what time it is? Sorry, he's using my phone.
How's it going, brother?
21. So did they have a VIP or something that people could come in at the ready? That's how you're in right now, yes?
No, just because we have the 4-day, they gave us in that too.
Okay, so
Yeah.
so people were at 4-day that were here all 4 days get to come in a little earlier.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying. Okay.
It's if it was a singular day for today, it was 4 o'clock.
I get that. Okay, there you go. I thought it was similar. I love how you have the camera.
Yeah, thank you.
Guys,
You have a good one, brother. I was telling him eventually I would come around to my ex. I think that's right. That guy was fantastic. I really like it.
There it goes. Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Maggie, get in.
I know my.
Yes. Great. Yes.
All right. Tell me when you're ready. Thank you.
Spare no expense. When this baby hits 88 miles an hour, you're gonna see some serious shit.
Be careful with that wood.
Somebody please get this man a gun.
Well, there goes day one, MegaCon 2022 on a Thursday. Came out really good, knocked out quite a bit, got to see quite a bit, recorded quite a bit, got to hang out with a couple of peeps
like the Yellow Ranger of the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers and stuff like that. Got to say what's up to Jason Mewes. Jason Mewes got to ask a question or so there about something. We were trying to figure something out. So that was cool, hanging out with Jason for a second. And then did like a meetup. My buddy Joey came around. He got a little dressy up, a little quick dress up. We did a Marvel meetup, taking big old photograph of all the Marvel people. I've just been I'm very happy. Like, part of me was sad about the whole idea of like not being able to do a lot of options for cosplay and stuff like that. But I think the one benefit of the idea that, yeah, Professor Xavier is like one of the damn only things I can do with my crippled ass. The fact of the matter is, I'm the only one. And that makes me pretty happy as hell to be so fortunate to be a character that is just not abundant. You know what I mean? Like, there's plenty of Spideys, there were plenty of Harley Quinns and whatnot, of course. So, like, for example, in that Marvel meetup, there was even 2 drunk Thors. So to be the only Professor Xavier in this big collaborative photograph, it's great. It was a good feeling. It was really good. And yeah, I hope these next few nights are as good. I feel like they're going to be crazier because obviously there's a lot more people. But it was fantastic. And yeah, day 1 in the can. Get ready for day 2, Friday night. All right, here I am trying to deal with this rain, but I think I got it. It livened up a little bit where I was able to get the chair onto the back of the truck, and I got like an old shower curtain to cover up the chair just in case. And so far, smooth sailing. I'm about halfway going up, and hopefully it's not that crazy when I get there, so that way I can get inside, and then if it wants to downpour after I'm inside, we go right ahead. But anyways, yeah, that was the situation there. Wow, that rain was heavy when I got up, and I was like, nothing's gonna prevent me from seeing Kevin Conroy talk about Batman.
And I said, well, not the way I did. Any other way, I would imagine, is the way to get in. Because, you know that phrase, life is what's happening to you while you're busy making other plans? That is definitely what happened to me. I moved into New York when I was 17. I got a scholarship to go to Juilliard, and I started supporting myself. And I was going to be next to Olivia. I was Hello. I was going to be a stage actor. And so I trained with doing Shakespeare, the Greeks, classic stage acting, a really traditional theatrical education. Hello. Okay. And I was in an amazing class at Juilliard. And I was much younger than everyone because I graduated high school early and I was on my own. I was supporting myself. And my roommate was Robin Williams.
Wow.
He was my roommate.
Yeah.
And my classmate as well. And my other classmate that I used to drink way too much with was Kelsey Grammer.
Oh, yeah?
Amazing. And wonderful actresses named Harriet Harris and Frances Conroy.
Nice.
I mean, amazing actors. It was called Group 6, and it was a kind of famous group. All these talented people came together at the same time and formed this group. So the inspiration to excel and to develop was really strong. And what I didn't realize was that I was preparing for something that you couldn't make a living in. The theater. It's almost impossible to make a living in the theater. I was just doing what I loved, right? And, but when I got out, I started doing Broadway, off-Broadway. I was very lucky. I started working right away. And I started doing some television stuff, some guest spots. And I happened to be in LA and doing a pilot for a series. And my voiceover agent said, go over to Warner Brothers, they're doing a new show, Batman, the animated series. They're looking for the voice of Batman. And I said, new show? I said, I grew up on Batman. I know what. He said, no, it's never been an animated show. I was so naive about the whole animation world. I didn't know it had never been an animated show. So I go in, and I meet Bruce Timm, Eric Rogomsky, Andrea Romano, Paul Dini. I mean, this is like the gold standard, right, of creative talent. But I didn't know who any of them were, because it wasn't my field. So Bruce Timm says, well, what do you know about Batman? I said, well, I know the Adam West show when I was growing up. And he said, no! That's not what we're doing. We all love Adam, but that's not what this is. He said, don't you know the Dark Knight legend of the, watching his parents murdered in front of him as a child in a crime alley, becoming this dark figure avenging justice? And I said, no, I've never read it. He said, well, what kind of childhood did you have? So he had to educate me on the whole thing. So I said, well, look, let me just use my imagination. And they had seen over 500 people at this time. They've been looking for months. And they'd seen TV people, film people, the kind of actors you would get in LA. Well, I was a stage actor who happened to be in LA doing a pilot. And they didn't realize what they really needed was a stage actor. They needed someone who played Laertes and Lysander and Edgar and Edmund and Achilles and Orestes, who've done these great heroic, tragic, classic roles, because of all the superheroes, that's Batman. He has no superpowers. He can't fly, he can't transform, he can't see through walls. He's a man. He's a human being. In fact, he's a very flawed man. He's a tragic hero. And that's what appeals to me, is his darkness. And so I just put myself in my imagination in this booth. And I said, well, let me just improvise. And as I was thinking more and more about watching in Crime Alley my parents murdered in front of me and what that would do to me, my voice just went to a very dark, somber, painful place. And I started doing this sound. And they hired me on the spot. I said, that's it.
Yes! Excellent.
But that's an interesting insight into what acting is about, because it's about your imagination. It's about what you bring to the role. It's about having the idea to do the voice. People come up to me all the time and say, well, listen to me do you. And they do a very convincing version of my Batman. And I say, okay, now I have to kill you. Because I won't work anymore if you get out. So you're dead. But it's not being able to imitate, it's being able to think of it, to come up with it. They'd seen 500 actors for this role. I bet there are a dozen or 2 dozen actors in there who would have done just as good a job, but they just didn't think of it. It's coming up with the idea for the voice. That's what they're really hiring when they hire an actor. They're hiring your whole being. They're hiring. I was 30 when I started doing the role, so they're hiring the third, or no, actually I was older than that.
Oh shit!
I'm older than I think I am. I was 34. But they were hiring 34 years of life experience. Everything that had happened to me, and how, the good things and the bad things, how it affects you. That's being an actor. They always say you are your instrument as an actor. That's what they mean. You are your instrument. Everything that makes you, every cell, every thought, every atom, that goes into your roles. And that changes the role for each person. That's why it's so interesting to see different actors do Batman. When Michael Keaton first started, I thought, he nailed it. This is great. I'm a big Michael Keaton fan. I love what he's done. And then to watch what George Clooney does with it, or Ben Affleck does with it, all the various actors, Christian Bale, you see a different aspect of the character, a different take on the character. Certain nuances are different because of who they are. They can't not help but affect it in a different way. So it's really wonderful to watch. To me, Mark Hamill's the Joker. He just is the Joker.
Yes.
but he was insanely brilliant. He was brilliant in a different way. And Troy Baker comes along, and he's insanely brilliant too. But each one brings their own color, to the role. And everyone has their personal favorites, but everyone says, "Who's your favorite Batman?" You can't. It's you. I can't.
It's Kevin.
Other than that. Thank you. But so that's the thing about acting. And one of the wonderful things about doing these shows is the casts we have. I worked with Mark Hamill, Roddy McDowell, Edward Sitwell Jr. Everybody, Tara Strong, John Glover. John Glover and I have known each other about 40 years. We did theater together, we've done mini-series together, we've done so many shows together, and when we ended up being Batman and the Riddler, that was just wild, he's a crazy man. But it's just between you and me. But the actors I've gotten to work with, Michael Ansara, as Mr. Freeze, he's heartbreaking. It's a heartbreaking performance. All the actors, I feel so lucky. I worked with Ed Asner. He did Granny Goodness. Boris Leachman came in just before she passed. It's been such an extraordinary thing. Adam West.
Yep.
It's the great ghost. So it's been an amazing ride for me. But acting is as much about reacting as it is acting. You give, and then you get. And then you react to what you get. And if I have someone like Mark Hamill giving me the most amazing performance, it just pulls it out of me. It pulls a better performance out of me. So it makes me a better actor. It's really hard to work in a vacuum. And Mark said the most wonderful thing about me in an interview once. He said, "Kevin makes me a better actor." That is one of the biggest compliments you can give to another actor, because it means that you are giving that person so much that you're pulling more out of them than they would have done on their own. And that's an amazing compliment. But that's how I think about the different actors I've gotten to work with. I feel so lucky about it. I love it. Absolutely. But early on, there was a funny thing that happened. We went on the air in '92. This is technically the 30th year. That's right. 30th.
Yes.
Yeah, nah, this whole thing is a circle, but not a real circle, more like a freaky circle.
Nova Centurion Prime activated.
Nova's back, baby.
I am better than ever.
I want to thank all of you.
Yeah, Jean, ride that popularity train for all it's worth.
Sorry, what was your name again?
Dr. Otto Octavius.
Hello, Pete.
We've got Gambit and Professor Zane.
I've been here all day, man.
All day?
Yeah, we're headed up right now.
So you're doing most of the street?
Yeah, I mean, Captain of the X now, with Uncle Charles.
I know, right? Stop.
Nice, I like it. Of course, man. Take care.
Will you be here possibly long?
Yeah, I'm shooting night.
Yeah. Oh, you got all the way long? Oh, yeah? Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. All right, brother. You have yourself a good one. You too, man. I hope to see you tomorrow.
Take care.
Yeah, be safe. Hello there. Yeah?
Attention visitors. Show will be closing in 20 minutes at 7 p.m. Attention visitors. Show will be closing in 20 minutes at 7 p.m.
Right. We'll have things going hopefully for
Thanks, fun. So we're gonna.
Yes, sir. How are you? Spot on. I'm trying to remember the character's name. It's been a while since I played Street Fighter. Well, I know it was hard to play against him. It was hard to fight against him. I know some people that played that character. Good. That messed me up bad.
They're even brighter than this altogether.
That's fantastic. Is that your favorite class to play, by the way?
It is. They're so fast.
They are.
I love this.
But I love staying on my warrior and being the tank. I'm a big Tarn lord. I love protecting.
Let's do that next.
That'd be pretty cool.
There we go. Hi. Something else? Hi. Hi.
When Captain America throws his mighty shield.
Well, there goes the second day of MegaCon 2022 in the bag. This time around, obviously a lot more people for a Friday. I know Saturday's probably going to be more people. And it was great because it was one of those situations where I got into with a few peeps that were X-Men orientated. Individual that was Gambit. We had a Pyro. We had 2 Rogues, 1 Storm, 1 Kitty Pryde, 1 Jean Grey. It was fantastic. It was great to see like a little combination of X-Men. And while we were sitting there hanging out, everybody's like, oh my God, can I get a picture? I love the 90s X-Men. And that's what we looked like. We looked like the 90s X-Men. And it was fantastic. It was one of those things that came out great. I know out of what we were trying to do, we tried to get like all the X-Men to do the red carpet, but we were pretty scattered, and it was in the heat of the moment kind of decision where, you know, the one gentleman that was Gambit and I were thinking about that. I was like, we gave it our shot, but ultimately the gentleman that's Gambit and myself managed to do the red carpet together, so that was pretty cool. We got a good pop from the crowd seeing us together posing, so I thought that came out pretty good. So yeah, well, there goes day 2. Day 3, I'll see you there. Oh yeah, here we go.
Welcome to MegaCon 2022! If anybody's seen Professor X, please oh, Professor X! How are you, sir? Oh, this way.
Right this way.
Maybe you could use that, you know?
Everything changed when the Fire Nation attacked.
Too bad we don't have like a rock to, you know, up.
Earthbending.
Nice. Thank you. That's the father of Marvel right there.
Oh, okay.
Man, that's the legend himself. Father of Marvel. You, Tony.
Are you Tony Stank?
Look, so that's from my video game, World of Warcraft. The one with the staff, right? And then she's doing Sylvanas. You think you could do one for me?
I think there are the other people.
Oh, they were inside.
May I?
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Hey, Megacon! How you guys feeling today? Having a good day? Lots of nerding out going on, I hope. Good, yes, moving to nerding out. I like it. You have really good Joker makeup, by the way. It's just really creeping me out. I like it. My name's Aaron Sagers. I'm going to be your hosty dude for the next 45 minutes. And who's a fan of Legend of Tomorrow? Who are fans of bullet points? Yes, exactly. See, she's got the t-shirt, right? And who is ready for me to bring out
these awesome actors. I know you're all ready. I want you to make some noise.
Yeah.
Because first off, I'm going to bring her out first. Jess McCallan is known. And Melissa, make some noise. Jess McCallan, come on. That's a good jingle. You know her as Sarah Lance, you know her as a White Canary, you know her as a legend. Make some noise for Liz. That was a very Ryan Gosling.
Alright guys, bye, thanks.
Yeah. Do you, just because I was commenting on how cool your jacket is, when you're getting your super suits, when you're putting it on, do you find that that's part of the process of channeling your character's badassness?
Yes, because it definitely gives you that posture and walk. But I mean, our characters are in their badassery all the time, even though they're super serious.
Yeah. And also, just so you're originally from Florida, aren't you?
I am. Sarasota, Florida in the house. My mom's here, guys. She's Sarasota. Say hi, Mom. So my mom asked me yesterday when she drove over here, she's like, of course I'll come see you, I'll come stay, it's gonna be great. And we got in the hotel room and she goes, okay, honey, I need to ask you a question. What's a Comic-Con?
How has her reaction been so far to the madness?
Like, so cute. She wants to hug everyone. She's like, I love the community, and it's, you know, she's, I think, are you proud of me, Mom? So proud. Okay.
Aww.
Well, and since we're talking about moms, next to Jess's mom is my dad. An OG.
Obviously, like, as I'm not a parent, but parents are really excited when their kids are working and doing well and succeeding, and you guys have been very much so. But do you think there's that whole other level of awareness that hits them when they come to Comic-Con and then see people show up to support and show how much that they love your work?
I mean, you have to ask them.
I know, I'm like grandmother. I think so. Yeah, right?
What do you guys think?
What do you guys think?
It's amazing.
Dad's not speaking.
That was a good point. Hey guys, also, the other thing is we have microphones. And there's a microphone there, there's a microphone over there. If you guys have questions, you should get in line and get ready to ask some questions. So you do that. Oh, we already have one right up there. I'll throw it to you in the red on that mic. Why don't we start? Mike.
Hello, my name is Van, and my question is, I was wondering if you could talk a little bit, what are you allowed to say about the final season?
Okay, I'm going to interrupt you for 2 seconds. First off, just, guys, if you're physically able, squat down unless you're actually at the microphone so we're not blocking the people behind so we can be good nerds with one another. Okay. I mean, as far as the final season, I mean, as much as...
Spoil it all.
It doesn't happen.
Yeah.
It doesn't be done. Yeah. Sorry, guys.
It's, although last week, at another panel, you did say, you were, obviously, we saw you in a time jail, and then was there any idea about where that might pick up?
Oh yeah, someone did ask, like, what was the plan for the next season?
Yeah.
The only thing I knew was kind of that the legends were, we're going to be in jail and basically have to be like re-educated on how to be responsible custodians of their time, and they're going to have a bunch of like young, up and coming, you know.
We're going to have a baby in prison?
I guess so. Just a prison baby.
It also sounds a little bit like the finale of Seinfeld. All right, cool. Did that answer your question?
Yes, thank
Cool.
you.
All right, hi, over here.
Hi guys, my name is Carrie, Jess and Katie. I just want to start off by saying thank you so much for what you put into the show for the last 7 years. I know it's been a lot to a lot of people here. And and also, Katie, just want to say I don't want to say congratulations on your engagement. That's really awesome. So my question is, of all the years, since we pretty much, it's very doubtful there's going to be a pickup and the show's over. What, over the last 7 years, have you guys felt have been the most meaningful, I don't know, not necessarily meaningful, but most enjoyable interactions with fellow castmates? What scenes do you guys look back on the most and think, wow, that was really awesome, I'm glad we did that? Like just...
I mean, it's always hard to remember all the things, but recently just doing the finale, I think, and we had that under the blanket scene. That was such a really nice moment, I think, for our characters. And I love working with Jess because we always, whatever the scene is on the paper, it always ends up being something totally different, and it's in a really fun way where, you know, we've always had great chemistry together, and so it's always, you don't know what's going to happen in the scene until you're filming it, and so that makes it fun because it's exciting.
Yeah, you know, I love that scene. I love watching you have that full freak out, because Sarah doesn't get to do that very often in the finale. Your like mental breakdown, and it's always Ava. It's just like, I can't handle it. It was just fun to watch you totally embrace that, and I was like, okay, Katie / Sarah. It was so great. Wasn't that great? It was just like, yeah, but yeah, I think to answer the other part of your wonderfully nostalgic question, the most important thing that I got out of the show was family. I mean, our cast is so close. We love each other so much. We've all been sending photos of where we are in the world right now, trying to be supportive of the non-pickup. I don't even want to say cancellation because I hate that word, but the non-pickup political crap that happened because it wasn't a creative choice. And just being supportive of each other and cherishing the last however many years we had creating the show.
Yeah. As far as chemistry between you two as actors, was that something that just really clicked right away? Did you meet and hang out a little bit to kind of get to know one another first, or was it just hitting the ground running in your performances?
It clicked right away. Like, it was before I even met her, we just, she came in to do the chemistry reads, and so we didn't really meet before, we just did a scene together. And as soon as we finished the scene, it was like, I remember whatever, it was like the scene was done, and afterwards she was just kind of improving, and it was like when she was being the time girl, and it was like, okay, thanks, bye, you can go. And I was like, and then as soon as she left the room, I was like, that's the one, she's the girl, like that's her. And now, she's so annoying, I hate her.
It's good for you to do that and go, like, not many actors would take that on board and then take what you need as the character and not just what you liked in the room or what you, because there were some beautiful, I mean, just, it's always so competitive, and so there were some beautiful other.
What, you just thought I'd be like, who's the hottest chick?
And like, you know, sometimes it's like some nitpicky thing, like, oh, she's blonde too, or she's what, and you totally went with the chemistry and the choice of the storyline, and I think that's what made it work.
The best actor and the hottest chick.
Yeah.
There you go. All right, second question over here. Hey.
Hi guys. So what's been your favorite part of like playing Sarah and Ava? Like, what was the moment that you're like, all right, this is my character now?
Gosh, when I was 12, I'll go first, you can take, because my son is long of a run as hers. I crafted Ava to kind of, and I'm glad that it happened, to kind of be not disliked, but a bit of a villain and a hard push against the legends, tight bun, all the things, all of her physical actions and all of her kind of go by the rules. And I felt like I fully released into the character. I had this moment written, like at the end of season 3 or 4, because I knew where we were going, and where she like took out her bun, and it was just like, the hair was flowing. They never let me do it, but I did, the hair came down. And I think that was the moment when we really got together and she started to come into her own, that I fully embraced the journey of Ava, even though it was a plan all along. If that makes sense.
I can't even remember the question.
Well, about when you fully owned your character, about like you owned your character.
There's different iterations of it, because I think like Sarah had to do that on Arrow and find who she was, and that I loved how strong she was and kind of guarded and tough, and then when we did Legends, it was like finding a completely new character, because all of a sudden all the lines and stuff, even in the pilot, where I was like, Sarah would never say this.
Oh, was it really different?
Well, it's just like, Sarah did not joke on Arrow. Sarah was not like, on Arrow at all. She was like,
There were no finger guns.
yeah,
No finger guns.
Definitely not double.
no, only real guns.
Yeah.
She was really, really dark and there wasn't humor, but Arrow was dark. And so it's just a different show, and that was interesting to find. And I don't know when I found it, I'm not sure on.
Because even then there was a narration of the first 2 seasons that were different from the 3rd season when I came on, which was all I knew. And you guys were like, wow, the show's changed so much. And then kept changing.
Yeah.
In the end, we're like, we're doing what we want because they don't care, we're just loving guys.
Yeah, so I don't know, lots of moments though.
Did you find it harder to be, I guess, did you feel like when you joined Legends, you were surrounded by a creative team that really got you and knew what you were capable of?
No.
No?
Not in like a mean way, but there was a lot of characters and they were just trying to figure out what they were doing with the show. And I think it was hard for me because I liked Sarah on Arrow, and everybody, like the fans loved Sarah on Arrow, and all of a sudden they're like, okay, but now we're gonna do something like a different, and I was like, but we love this version, like this version works, why are we doing something different, like why are we changing her? But it was fun to kind of meld the two and make it feel like they could still be the same character.
At least they didn't tell you were a clone 8 episodes in. Am I a robot? What is it? I'm a robot? But no, you're a clone. It's fine. What?
It's fine. It's fine. Don't worry.
Am I supposed to be playing something differently? Like, is she like this now?
I wish that was the direction they're going. Hello, over here.
Hi. By the way, you guys are awesome, and you're amazing. I love you guys so much.
Thank you.
But throughout the seasons that you guys had together, what's the hardest scene or episode to shoot?
The second one I directed almost killed me. Acting wise,
That's the bowling one?
That was the double Legends versus Legends. Like the double.
Robo Legends.
Robo Legends.
Yeah.
No, the bowling one was hard just for what was that script? We were trying to figure out what are we doing, is this gonna work? But I'm trying to think of hard scenes. So our hard scenes end up being weather, or right, like we're freezing. We're fighting, and there's like, remember the gal in the metal bathing suit, Helen of Troy, in the snow?
Yeah.
She was such a trooper. She was literally in like a metal costume in the snow with a sword, like all 10 pounds of her, trying to like have a fight scene. You guys have rough fight scenes, but you're so good at that stuff.
Yeah, I always like doing that. I think it's hard when maybe it's if you have a scene that it kind of doesn't make sense. And you're like, I don't know what to do with this. It was some of those when we were figuring out.
And then you normally have a director that also is like hoping you're going to make it make sense for them, because some of them aren't caught up on the show, and so they're like, yeah, you come in and you're pouring a smoothie into Rory's ear. We're like, why? They're like, because it's on the page. I'm like, why? And they're like, oh shit, I don't know.
There's something kind of, there's a lot of things that are special about Legends, but also this era of the CW, which seems like it's past. And one of the things I found interesting is that you go on your set and it's like, here's the Wave Rider, and then you walk a couple feet and it's like, oh, now here's Lucifer, and you're in another ship. And Vancouver was really dominated by these all of these productions, all these CW productions happening all at once, do you kind of look back and think this was kind of an interesting moment in time where all of you guys from this show and other shows and everything were moving about the same town? Was there kind of like a unique element to that?
Yeah, I think though it was still pretty isolated. Like even though we were all there, it was more isolated. I think I kind of wish we all hung out more. The one year I did because I lived with Katie Cassidy, and then another year I lived with Candace Patton and Keenan. So that was fun. So I did get some, a lot of Flash crossover feels and an era, but yeah, it was kind of like everybody was still like Batwoman was on the same show, and I don't think I ever saw Javicia on the same stage. I never saw Javicia once.
Yeah.
Nobody. I mean, I ran into anybody, they were literally in the building right next door.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you feel like just Vancouver overall? Would you be out for like a Sunday off and then be like, oh, there's a cast member from another show?
I think you get, a lot of that in Yaletown proper, downtown proper. Everybody was there, but I have like 1 million dogs and 1 million kids, and I always say like all the buffets that I have to feed. So we were in North Van, so I felt like we never got to see. I wish we hung out more. We didn't really hang out as much as.
Well, and then there was a pandemic when they were like, don't hang out with each other. Like, don't hang out with anyone. Stay in your apartment and lock the door. Lock the door and just go to work and then go home.
Yeah, film 14 hours and start all over again the next day.
Okay. Thank you.
Hi guys.
Hi Jimmy.
I just wanted to know, what was the favorite part of doing the crossovers?
That was fun going to see, because like I was saying, we didn't always get to hang out with the other shows. During the crossovers, you did. It was like the only time where you went on everyone else's stages, and also it always felt like everybody was kind of like trying to show off when you were there. So you would like, go on to Supergirl and they would be like, carrot ginger smoothies, anyone? Oh, we have, A&W burgers for hot snack. And I remember Melissa being like, what? They never bring out smoothies for me. Like, they were like just trying to show off for the other shows and stuff, so that was fun.
Was there like a different vibe between different shows, or where, along with that showing off element, where you'd be like, this is our place now, welcome to our turf?
It totally, and also it was interesting because you see how they're run, and Supergirl, they shot far out, like it was a long distance, so it was kind of sucked for them, but they had proper reading rooms. They had like a meditation room, and like a whole, like a dog room, and and then like Melissa had like a giant Lego thing that she was always building, so you could go and just like try to add on to her Legos, and it was fun. And then we have a nice lounge, like a nice sitting area where you don't just sit on those like uncomfortable camping chairs normally, but we have like couches and a coffee table and stuff like that. So we would be like, yeah, come to the lounge.
She's got Lego over there.
And, well, once I leave my meditation room and pass through my Lego room and stop by the dog babysitter, then maybe I'll come to your lounge.
It's cute. It's a cute lounge.
It's cute. It's cute little lounge.
That lazy boy from 1984.
It was so never yours. She had the oldest lazy boy ever. It was like 80s rusty lazy boy.
Hey there.
Hi, Katie, Jess, nice to see you again. So I have a question for Katie and one for Jess. So, Katie, what was it like wearing the Supergirl costume in the season 4 finale?
That was actually pretty fun.
She looked awesome.
It's so iconic. I mean, it really is. It's an iconic costume, and it felt good putting it on. I did. I was kind of like, this would be nice, playing a superhero people have heard of.
So, Jess, did it feel ridiculous fighting the Martin Stein puppets?
Did I do that? Oh, the second time I've been stabbed in the leg in the show. Yeah, that was insanity. But yeah, of course it felt ridiculous. And actually, our camera guy, who directs as well, our A-cam op, who's amazing, CT, he's like the heartbeat, one of the heartbeats of our show, one of the many of the crew, was running around with the puppet arm on, they gave him like wardrobe to be whatever the puppet arm was, and he had the knife in front of him, so this is the camera. He was like chasing me with the knife on the ground with his steady cam, and he poked me in the freaking leg. And I was like, first I think one of the only times I was like, God! And I was like, you just stabbed me! And it really hurt, and that was really uncomfortable. Yes, thanks for bringing that up.
You're doing a weird job where when you fight a puppet and you forget about it, you have to be reminded of that. Yeah.
Actually, speaking of puppets, I love my puppet. And so that's the one thing we didn't get. Every time someone leaves the show, this is how weird our show is. I mean, I don't have to tell you all this. Every time a character leaves, you're like presented with your puppet in like a small coffin box. Like, oh, Macy got our puppet, and Nick got his puppet, and where's my freaking puppet? Send the puppet.
Thank you.
You just need to find a good excuse to get back on set. Like, I left my car keys there.
Yeah.
And while you're there,
take the puppet.
Ransack.
Where's the puppet?
Yeah. I'm here for the puppet. Yes.
Hello. I enjoyed watching you both in the show. Now, my question is, I love time travel, hiding things, so if the show were to continue, what time period, person, or event would either of you want to visit in character from the show?
I'd like to go to ancient Egypt and hang out with Cleopatra.
Okay.
Cleopatra standing in here, I like it.
I always want to find like Jesus. Clear up the whole Jesus thing. Let's go have an let's figure it all out. Let's just lay it on the line. All the truths, all the bits, let's just figure it out.
That seems like that could lead to a really bad anomaly.
Well, Ava wouldn't do that. Jess would do that. Ava would probably be like, leave Jesus alone. Let it all be what it is. Yeah, I don't know what I would do.
Or at least give them a heads up.
I'd go to the future, I think. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yes. Yes.
So if you meet a guy named Judas.
He's a little shady. Yes.
Okay. What's your favorite story arc? And is Sarah a Sam or Dean girl?
The last part?
Yeah.
Is Sarah a Sam or Dean girl?
Is Sarah a Sam or Dean girl?
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, I was like, who are they? Excuse me. You can answer that.
Did I miss this? Do something? No, I don't. I really want to sing. I don't sing. Orlando. I don't know. I don't watch Supernatural. Sorry. So I couldn't answer that.
You're a scene.
Favorite story arc was the other.
That I can answer. Well, I guess I loved the story arc for Sarah on Arrow when we first kind of met her and really got to see the flashback stuff when the League of Assassins were coming back for her, and with Nissa, like finding out about that whole thing. I think there was some really, and just, she was so tortured then, and it was such a cool storyline. So I quite liked that storyline the best, I think.
I liked when they dabbled with Ava, where she kind of came from. I really liked working with Rip, with Arthur Darvill, which was the beginning, early seasons, and then they kind of dabbled again with Bishop, who's Tala's husband, who's an amazing actor, so it was wonderful to work with him. But I liked that when Ava had to kind of figure out, who am I? Where am I from?
Thank you. Thank you.
Or the bullet bonds, that's fun.
Oh yeah, they were my favorite.
So it's nice to have you guys here. I really appreciate it. And my question was for you, Katie. How you feel your character has evolved from Arrow to the ending of Legends of Tomorrow?
She's exactly the same. I think you guys know. It's like one of those things that's so much that it's kind of hard to put into words. But I think we just went from somebody who was total lone wolf, and somebody who didn't like themselves very much, and she grew into somebody who, I think the thing that she learned was to not think about herself so much. I think before it was like all about herself in a like down, dark way, and you know, she pushed everyone away, and so she just was in this all the time. And then when she became captain of the Wave Rider and started taking care of everyone else and connecting with other people and having stuff that's outside of her, beyond her, it kind of freed her from all of that stuff. Because she just learned how to be of service to others, I think.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Oh, hi. No. There, now.
Hello. Oh, there it goes. Hi, I'm a huge fan. I really love both of you and your relationship. Not gonna lie, Sarah Lance, you were definitely part of my, I guess, gay awakening. So, through high school, like figure out myself and come out. So thank you for that. And thank you guys for both having an amazing relationship. How does it feel, at least in my opinion, to be gay icons, especially being superheroes as well?
I mean, it's effing awesome. Get icons. It's like, one, the fandom is the best. It's like hands down. And I think it makes me so happy that we got a happy ending.
Oh, yes. Yes,
It's like,
yes, absolutely.
even though it didn't get to end, like, Sarah and Ava are in like the best place ever,
That's
you know?
actually a wonderful answer.
It's stronger
Yes.
than ever. And so, and like we were saying, having such a positive representation, where in like a happy ending, it's like we all deserve that, and it's that thing we want to be able to strive for. And I love that Sarah and Ava found love in a very healthy relationship.
After crying over each other, dying so many times, and being ripped apart, put back together, ripped apart, and put back together, you're absolutely right. Positive vibe was that we ended on a freaking good note.
And it was, you know, like when Sarah was bi 9 years ago, and there was not a lot of that on TV. And the amount of people that were like, I watched you like growing up, and now I'm graduating college, and you know, like they're like, we were a kid, and now they're an adult, and how important it was, and how impactful and meaningful it was to their life. And it's like, I mean, what's the purpose of any of our lives other than to be of service and to touch and make someone else's life better? And being able to play a character that has that kind of positive representation, and being a bisexual superhero captain leader on TV has been an absolute honor.
Here, here.
Unfortunately, I don't think other superhero shows, certainly not the ones that have been on the CW, can quite pull off what you guys pulled off with this. I think that this show was just so uniquely suited to take these kinds of swings and also show that it can work and that people respond to it. Because ultimately, I think network executives are terrified of doing things and are terrified of taking chances. But when you're already like this weird show that embraces all of us weirdos, you can get away with it.
I think they forgot our show was still going.
I was like, we're having an ace character, and they're just like, oh great, that was amazing. We were just.
Yeah, I feel like they were like, they watched season 1, they were like, oh girl, we gotta cancel that show. And then they forgot to cancel it. And then it was like 7 seasons later, they're like, what? This still going? We didn't know. We've not been watching this. They just let's do whatever.
We're like smashing through glass ceilings, like, look what we're gonna show everyone.
I kind of think of you in those terms. I think of you guys as sort of like the show Community, which is a very fun comedy, but a show that started out where they're like, okay, we're gonna have this very straightforward kind of paint by number superhero show, but then it's like, oh, you know what? It might get canceled, so let's just get weird, and then it works, you know. So
yeah, they did allow it though. So good on the
Yeah.
network. Yeah, the CW has actually been really good about that, you know, and wanting to have good representations.
Yeah.
And Berlanti, and for sure.
Hi again. My question is kind of going back to the happy ending thing that we were just talking about. What was your individual reactions to learning about your future daughter? And also, do you guys know what her name is?
And do we what? Sorry, what?
Do you know what her name is? Like, did they tell you?
Oh.
We decided her name was like Lauren. No, what was her name? Oh, last names. We were going with last names. Like Larper. It wasn't Shave Off. I don't know what I'm talking about. The Sharpened Chance? No. We don't know, but the first part of your question, the response was truly in a scene, which is that blanket scene. I mean, I think we got to actually act our response to finding out you were pregnant in a scene that was written as it was, and then we just, like we said, we kind of improv a lot of those beats on the day. I remember reading it and getting under that blanket with her, which was her brilliant idea, and I thought it was her kind of scene to come out and tell Ava that she was pregnant, and it was very weighted for her character, and then I remember being in the scene and she kept saying, it's yours, and it wasn't even written, and I was just like, had this kind of Ava come over me moment where I was like, wait, it's mine? Like, it's actually mine, which was a huge thing that we could make a baby together with our spit. She's an alien, y'all. So that, yeah, Ava's and my reaction were the same in that scene.
Thank you. Good question. Beautiful. Thank you so much. Hello.
Hello. Hi. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Okay, so honestly, I feel, but first one is, I just want to know what was like your favorite episode, favorite scene. I just want to know this.
Okay. Favorite episode or favorite scene?
There are so many.
That's what I'm asking.
Marie Antoinette was fun, just because that was just fun. We got to really dress up, and you saw the departments do what they do best, like the set deck and the dressing, and hair and makeup just went nuts, and wardrobe for Vicky is just a magical unicorn. That was fun. Bullet Balls was fun.
It's easier for me to pick a favorite episode from Arrow because I didn't do it as many. I think it was season 2, episode 5. That was like, there was a lot of good stuff with Sarah and her dad, and that was probably favorite episode. Yeah.
Right on.
I do have one more thing.
Okay.
This actually comes from a very weird conversation with my science teacher. She told me if I can get you guys to ask to give me an A+ on the final, she will give me 5 bonus points, and I need it.
What's her name? Yeah, what's her name?
Her name is Miss Anna.
Miss Anna.
Miss Anna.
Go ahead, get that
That's
camera ready.
what you guys tell me that I deserve an A+. That's all I need here. Miss Anna. Teacher's gonna see this.
We need you to give our friend here an A+.
An A+ on the final.
But we know that doesn't come for free, so make sure to load her up with some extra assignments.
I normally don't allow, I shut this kind of thing down, but in the interest of education and.
You did good today. You did good work.
Thank you. Hello.
Hi, I just, first off, want to again, like everyone else, thank you so much for being here. I know it's, for me, and I'm sure everyone else is thrilled to see you guys who we've spent and seen hours and hours and hundreds of hours in case, and to see you in person and get to enjoy your company. Katie, when I think back about Sarah and you as Sarah, and I get so much joy out of your character because it is such a thread now. It became such a thread between almost all the shows, you know, Arrow, and they know you on Flash, and Legends, and Supergirl even with her sister, and all of that. To narrow down, I'm glad someone else asked you about what the thread of your character, because that was the one I was thinking about. But when I think of moments, there's so many fun moments, but for some reason the ones that stick with me are usually you're walking in and finding out someone died. I mean, you walked in and found out your father died, you found out that the professor had died, and those were very moving. I know those would have to be hard or difficult or challenging scenes each time, but the one that really sticks with me though was the one when you confronted Rip after you found out that Laurel had died. and that whole, I could have stopped it, I could change it, no, you can't. Could you, what your memories are of that particular scene? Because again, that was one of the top ones in terms of when I think of Sarah scenes.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, that was a very powerful scene, and I remember it was a very important one for me because I think Laurel to Sarah was, I mean, the most important person to her. It was her sister, and to know that like everything that she's doing to like save the world or this or that and being gone, and then to not be able to save her sister, like was just the most gutting thing. And to know that he knew it and kept it from her, like that he took that from her, and her ability to do anything about it was, yeah. And I remember when we shot that, it was like, because they were kind of like, yeah, and it's like, it's a bummer, and I was like, no, it's not. This is everything. This scene is everything to her. Yeah, so it was really, I love doing that kind of stuff. That's why it was nice on Arrow, because I got to do a lot more dramatic stuff, where somehow I was like, how am I in a comedy? You got stuck with me. Yeah, same. So yeah, I really enjoyed doing that scene. I like doing that kind of work a lot. So thanks for connecting with it.
Thank you. So this is going to be our final question. I'm okay with the fact that the Joker is going to ask it.
Thanks for putting all the pressure on me. Appreciate it. Okay, so my question is more about Gary, because...
Damn it, we're not answering a question on your last question about Gary.
I mean, why not? No, we know Gary has to be involved somewhere. Okay, so was the plan from all along to be this alien, or was this, y'all just come in to film it when it's, alright, Sarah's abducted, alright, now Amy, you have to go, and by the way, you can find her, by the way, Gary's an alien. Like, how did that go down?
I bet you anything it was an afterthought. We don't have plans on this show. We don't plans. They're like, after a season of watching that guy act, they're like, he's an alien. And Adam's so like tremendous with anything you throw at him that I think they went full left field and watch him just knock it out of the park, I bet you anything they read on some like fan blog that, maybe Gary's an alien, and they were like,
There you go. Thank you.
thanks, guys.
Guys, we are at the end of this panel, but not the end of the con or the fun, because these guys are going to be heading back to their tables, so you can go see them, and get some autographs and all that, see the different ones. So, Megacon, you're awesome. I want you to make some noise for Journey At
Have a good one.
There we go. All right, Megacon. You guys ready to get this panel underway? Absolute privilege to bring to the stage this time the one and only Is the mic on over here? Let's check it.
Yeah, no it is. Hi guys.
Thank you so much for joining us here this weekend. You are a busy man, McClare.
Yeah, thank God, right?
I think we would be remiss if we have to talk about your final match coming up in a couple of weeks. How are you feeling?
I feel great. I just, someone suggested that to me a couple months ago, and I just noticed that I already have missed listening a lot. I've had some illnesses that people are worried about, and I want to make sure people understand that I'm not doing this without having consulted, the opportunities, without having looked into the possibility of things that could go wrong. So life is life, it's what I want to do, I enjoy it, and I've been cleared by the doctors, that's all I need to hear.
Right.
When Conrad came with the idea for StarCast, I missed the last one, they were supposed to be in Vegas because I had a heart issue, but what people didn't understand is the reason my heart was problematic in the first place is because I had such a low resting heart rate, which has been driving people crazy for 20 years. But because I just exercised during the day and I worked an hour every night for so many years, that it just got the kind of cardio shape I got in. So the pacemaker is just there. Who knows? I just put it in as precautionary. My heart, my vessels are clean. I've had the scans and everything, so I'm good. And you know, for some reason, for all this shit that's happening, my elbows, my knees, my back, nothing hurts. So why not? There's a couple of things to do with Jane and not gotta pick up the pace. So that hopefully can beat it by 85%. But I'll be better than I was the last time anybody saw me, which was 12 years ago. That's all that matters. And I'm having fun. And I'm still drinking. So
Well, you're feeling great, you're looking great, you've been training with Jay Lethal. What has that been like? Has he given you any new tips for in the
No, Jay's just a great kid. I trust him and everything about wrestling, but you don't know what I'm telling you. And I'm sure you must think about it sometimes when you watch what the kids do with each other, but you've got to trust the people you're with. I couldn't think of anybody more to try out, to spend some time with them. I really trust and like it a lot and think a lot of the Jay. But we've raised the tempo and done a lot more. And a lot of it's just stuff I have to do with my trainer, who's Rob, who has worked for John Cena. And Rob has got me at a different level, and I just have to work on getting back to the level of quickness that brings the realism and brings the authenticity to the sport. So that's what I'm working on, but I've got 2.5 months, and I'm working hard at it. It's given me a goal, which everybody, I don't know about you, but I do a lot better when I have a goal that I'm trying to reach. And that's just something for me, and I'll have fun, and then it'll be over. Hopefully, everybody will be saying, holy shit, how do you do it? And then we'll all go in and I'm going to start again. And then the WWE will be calling me saying, God damn, you start tomorrow, we're going to need him off. Or Tony will call and say, we need you Wednesday.
So another event that's actually happening at StarCast is
Yes.
doing the roast of Ric Flair.
29, yeah, that'd be interesting.
Who are you most nervous about roasting you?
About roasting me? I don't know, got Kid Rock's coming, Ice-T's coming, got a slew of celebrities, a lot of ESPN guys, Ryan Clark, David Pollack, Pat, if you can get off of SmackDown, Pat McAfee. It'll be fun, and a lot of some comedians and friends of mine, Ron Fletches, and people like that. Maybe Bill Burr, you guys know Burr, right? Yeah, Bill Burr. He does that great imitation of my drinking from the 30 for 30. So Bill and that, people like that, but it's all good. And I got shit on everybody else, so they give me some shit on them. I just don't tell my stories.
And the event's being held in Nashville, so is
Yeah.
there a particular reason why you guys chose Nashville for the event?
I don't know why they chose that. Oh yeah, because SummerSlam was there. And there were 70,000 people in town for SummerSlam. So, if I'm correct in what I heard today, we've already sold more tickets for StarCast already than they have for any other event in the past 4 years. So, we're off to a good start with that, and it's great to be there. But nothing's better than WWE events to work around. And there were 70,000 people in town for that. That was one of the primary reasons we chose it, or Conrad chose it. And I'm just lucky enough to be part of it.
Awesome. Well, I know we're all definitely looking forward to it, so that's going to be wonderful. So, if it's okay with you, we do have some time for some questions from the audience. So, whatever questions you guys have for Rick, now is your opportunity. So,
Please.
What's your name?
Sure, I'm Guy, long-time fan from the 70s, and took up a new hobby, bladesmithing, about a year and a half ago.
What is it?
Bladesmithing, and make them look nice.
Oh, yeah, yeah, cool.
And wanted to know a little bit more from your experience on Fortune Fighter.
You know, I didn't know what that was. So I'm not painting myself in a corner where I don't know a lot about history. I've had enough trouble keeping track of my own. So I didn't know anything about that. I thought I had never watched the show, but they were nice people, and I guess it's a really cool hobby if you're into that. I was impressed with it, but it's not nothing I'm going to be preoccupied with in the future. Yeah, but anyway, it was awesome to see what they were able to do.
Great. Let's go to this side. What's your name?
Hi, my name is Noel. A question, what do you think about Stephanie recently taking a leave of absence and Triple H's health overall?
Well, I think it's terrible. And I can sympathize with Hunter tremendously. I pretty much know what he had done, and he's got a defibrillator, which is a little bit different than what I have. Mine won't shock me. He has one now that will shock you. Same unit, same place. But if something were to happen, it'll shock you. You know, bring you back around. And mine wasn't as severe, obviously. Or I don't know. There's a couple different explanations. Insurance didn't want to pay for it. Anyway, anytime you suffer of illness, especially as early as young as he is in life, you feel terrible about it. I felt like he should have had his last match a couple years ago, because so many of the guys wanted to work with him, and I had the privilege of saying they worked for Triple H. But he was so invested in the NXT and everything, he just didn't really take time to enjoy himself enough. So I think he's up and running again. Stephanie, I don't know what's going on there. To me, she's one of the top 10 heels in the history of the business. And I loved her on TV. So personally, they probably just spend more time with their family. When you have a close call, like Hunter did, it really gives you that wake-up call to focus sometimes. They have young kids, so I was lucky my family rallied around me, but with me, my deal was I was in a coma for 13 days in ICU for 31, and I still don't remember. I just know I was in a bar, and it landed and fell over. And next thing, 31 days later, I woke up. So, anyway, I feel bad about it. I don't want to give the impression that I know exactly what's wrong. I just know that he's on a defibrillator, which is very similar to what I have. But at his age, he's young to have that issue, so I'm sure he's under specific instructions not to mess around like I'm doing. I'm messing around my whole life, so
I'm Chris, and I was curious, I know you've traveled the world and had drinks all over the place. What is your favorite thing to drink?
My favorite thing to drink? Out of all this stuff over the years, the red wine.
Red wine?
Yeah.
Any favorite cocktails?
I still like Kettle One soda and a little bit of cranberry.
Are you buying the drink later? Drinks on
I'm
him.
going to come and once in a while for that. Taker's downstairs and I'm trying to get him to come on tonight. I'll be back. Yeah, you can drink that Jack Daniels like nobody in the rest and say I said it on the panel.
What's your name?
Hi Rick, my name's Isaac. A lot of people talk about Mount Rushmores for pro wrestling and everything. But who are your top 4 of your favorite guys currently that are currently active at the moment?
Currently, or who is my Mount Rushmore?
Both, if you would like.
My Mount Rushmore is Hogan, Austin, Undertaker, and Shawn Michaels. Obviously Shawn's the greatest in-ring performer of all time. I think Mark is the biggest star in the history of our business. And for longevity, Taker's had a phenomenal run. And I'm sad to see him go. I saw him out there. It was great. You gotta give Hulk his due because he ran the 80s, he changed the face of the business in terms of marketing, and then Steve Austin, in my estimation, is the biggest star in the history of our business. And he redefined what the word merchandise means. And he's a hell of a worker too, and a great talker.
Thank you.
Yep.
My name is Declan, and I wanted to know what you think about The Undertaker being inducted in this year's Hall of Fame.
Thought it was fantastic. Only one guy could have done it, Vince. He, a lot of guys don't realize what Mark has done. He stayed loyal to the company. The company was, in a bad spot. The guys were jumping over to WCW. And Mark never wavered. I don't think he had ever even thought about coming. And that's why I say to me he's the biggest star in terms of what his contribution to the company has been and to the fans. When in the 90s, we'd pull up to an arena like in London and pull 40,000 people. And I've told friends, I got my partner Kelly's with me the other day, that there'd be 5,000 people dressed up like Undertaker in the 90s. It's kind of like Harley Quinn at a Comic-Con. I didn't understand it though. Because I had come from the NWA, right? We didn't have that marketing concept going on, but it was amazing. And you talk about a great guy, the best.
Thank you.
Ron, I grew up watching you at the Asheville Civic Center in North Carolina. Huge fan.
Now you're talking wrestling. We wrestle over there. We wrestle over there.
Now, there's a story going around about unruly fans in Asheville that someone threw a rattlesnake down.
They're having a match, I'll tell you about Asheville. Remember Whammo slingshots? These slingshots with the blue that came out and shooting the steel balls along. You remember that. Asheville's a rough town, man. Those are guys up mountain kids are tougher than shit. Some guy ran down one time with about an 8-foot rattlesnake in a gunny sack and threw the ring in the match. I've never seen 4 guys move as fast here. That was a rough crowd coming right going. But we had 6,000 people almost every time we were there. And it's funny, my best memory of that is Elvis opened it up the night before, and we came back the next day and sold it out, just like he did. So nice. That's how popular wrestling was back in Nashville. Nashville was a great town. That's where Angela was on.
Okay, what's your name? That might be off. You cannot. Try again.
Hello? Yeah, there we go. My name is Niger, and I grew up watching you during Evolution. I kind of want to know, what was your favorite memory or moment backstage or even in the square circle, square ring? What's your favorite moment?
Oh, God, I just had fun with those guys. I mean, I kind of thought it was a rib. Does everybody know what I mean by a rib? A joke. But cosmetically, I'm walking out with Dave Bautista, Hunter, and Randy, and I'm supposed to take my shirt off, really. Oh, shit. This is funny shit. But I got over it. And wore the robe for the pictures I could. But it was a great time. Hunter just grabbed me and said, hey man, let's get you back up and running. And I had gone through a terrible self-confidence issue because of all this shit in WCW. So I was down on that. I could always talk. I wasn't worried about talking, but cosmetically put me in the same arena with those guys. It was a little rough, but I survived it and had fun and really enjoyed all 3 of them. I'm still very close to Randy. Talk to him at least once or twice a month. And Dave, Dave's a big star now. I'm happy for him. He's achieved every goal he wanted, and Hunter has done it all. I just hope that he stays healthy long enough to really enjoy all the hard work he's put into the business.
Thank you. Good afternoon.
What's your name?
My name's Brian. Hi, Rick.
Hey.
We all know that you are an amazing ring psychologist, a great storyteller in the ring. And today,
don't see that as much. My question to you is there someone that you haven't been in the ring with that you see today that you think you could tell a wonderful story and have a great reason?
Oh, if I could wrestle right now when I was younger, Roman Reigns never to be an arena in the world that could hold me in Roman Reigns. The kid is unbelievable. But he needs a real bad guy against him. You know what I mean? Yeah. Because he's not only is a physical specimen, he's a real athlete. And I know the girl that on the stage, he's a pretty boy. No one knows him, he's just a good guy. But he'd be right up my alley. He would be my steamboat. No shit, that kid's got it, and I'd love to be the guy kicking the shit out of him. Yeah, there's a couple other guys that make Roland stands out on the wall. I think Roland, he put in a different gear. It's kind of like, I feel the same about my daughter. Some of them rise to that real high level, and some of them rise one level higher. And that's where I put Roland.
Thank you.
He's the same category right now as Randy. We're close. I give Randy still, because of his experience and longevity, I still probably look better, but I wrestle Randy, but I would love to be a young guy wrestling now. Be my 35 wrestling now, Roland.
Good question. All right. What's your name?
Hi, Rick. I'm Yusuf. I have a little bit of a different question. I'm a huge fan of the Offset and Metro Boomin song, Ric Flair Drip. And my question is, do you have a favorite memory from that iconic music video shoot?
Well, I'm in the cannabis business now, you know, with Mike Tyson at 2.0, whatever you guys know about that or not. But I wish I had been in the back end and filmed it that day. Because I've never seen as much. I've been a Snoop Dogg trailer, I've been in his house, but that mansion that day, with 300 blunts going 24/7. But it was. He can smoke some weed, man. All the legals, brother. Yeah, so anyway, my favorite memory though is just being with him. He's such a great kid. I mean, he's such a fan. He's actually coming to Nashville to see me wrestle, so I'm excited about that. I think Metro is too, so we've worked with Wavo, but I wouldn't guarantee from Wavo, but I've got new friends with all of them, which more than the video. To think something like that has done over 1 billion downloads. It's hard to imagine, right? Ric Flair, Drip, go. Woo! On the pitch.
Mr. Flair, King of the Pirates, how are you doing?
Right. King of the Pirates.
Just a quick question. Other than the coveted figure 4 leg lock, what's your favorite finisher to watch?
My finisher to watch?
Your favorite finisher to watch that another superstar's done?
Oh, I like the Steve, the stunner. I just put Kevin Owens downstairs though. I like the stunner. I like the tombstone with Taker too. In our match in Montreal, because I hate the one bump I had a hard time taking, and I would take it from Kevin Nash and take it a lot. What do you call it?
Powerbomb?
Powerbomb, yeah. Because it really, when they're that tall, it snaps the shit out of your neck. So in Montreal, we ended up having a hell of a match and Taker went to keep that kind of sat down and he said, screw this. The spike never bothered me at all, but you know, I'll tell you what, another great finisher, it was a high spot, but Iron and a DDT was just like Jake. If that executed properly, it looks like a kill shot. And it can if it's not done properly. You know, you can take it on top of your head, or you can take it. The best way to do it is to make it look great. You take it on top of your head, but a lot of guys throw their knees down. It's all about how the guy, you know, the guy can only do it to you if you let him and you get him. But if you do it and you're afraid of it, it's going to look like shit no matter how good the guy is. So make up your mind, go in the ring with it and do it the right way. 9 out of 10 times it'll look like $1 million. You know what I'm using it. The one Vince took, the WrestleMania.
Yeah.
That's why I came out of retirement. You're just a year older than me. Jesus Christ. Look like shit.
We got time for a couple more questions. We got 5 minutes left.
Hi, Rick. I'm Charlie. I know you said you're training for your final match, but you and Sting have had several classics, and with him jumping off balconies now, and you getting back in shape, I mean, I think there could be a really cool match there.
Oh, I do too. Yeah, I do too, but I don't know that took Tony Khan.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Only Tony can make it happen.
I think we
Hey,
should
I'll tell you something right now. You know what the funny thing is? Going through those tables and that shit is a lot more here than what you feel. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It's here. It's getting ready for it because if the tables are set up right and they break when they're supposed to, they're not gimmick, you know. They're actually, but you have to hit the right spot. It's got to be set up right. I mean, or you can, you know, everybody's going to get hurt. But that's not nearly as bad as getting in the ring. And nearly as hard as getting back in the ring and getting used to the speed and the pace of the match. That's why I'm so proud to see that he's gotten back. He does everything the same. He knows what he can still do equally as good as whatever did. And he stays away from the stuff that he can't do as well. You know what I mean? And you never know the difference. And the character is so great.
All right. Wrap it up. Okay, this is going to be our final question. I apologize, but over here.
No question for any girls? The birthday's carry on or what?
Okay, we'll take 2 more.
Yeah.
Okay, so go ahead, you, and then we'll get to the 2 ladies.
Hi, my name is Henry. I'm a big fan. And I was wondering, it was in this very city where you had your famous match with Shawn Michaels. And I just want to know, what were your thoughts going through the final moments of that match?
My thoughts, I live them every day of my life. My thoughts were, I wish that I could have been more confident in my ability, because I went in, you know, the greatest work in the world is Shawn Michaels. I'm in the ring with him. And it's never been an issue physically with me back then, just like it is now, but when you lose your self-confidence, it's extremely difficult to get it back. At the end, you know, I wish I wished 1,000 times when during my run in WWE, I wish I could have gone into the ring feeling as good as I could walking back. Because I know that I could have been better, but I had extreme self-confidence issues because of all the problems. And I let happen to myself at WCW. I should have never come back, but if I didn't, I wouldn't be here today with you guys. So, thank God, thank God for the trust. I'm so thankful when Vince called me. I had never been at home, and I've never been at home for a year in my life. I was at the country club at noon, daytime ringing. I didn't know my wife. I knew my kids. But it's just hard after being on the road for 4 years to go home and go, okay, breakfast, to go to lunch, okay, what time's the country club open in the bar? I was getting into some serious daytime drinking when Vince called me, said, let me go back to work and said, oh shit. For free. Get me out of here. I'm chained. Woo. And this is the Marriott Hotel.
All right. So we have these, got a rapid fire to them, Rick, but let's, over here, go ahead.
Woo, live and in color. Me and my dad absolutely love you. We watch videos of you all the time on YouTube, just clips of you doing woo, and that just makes our day so much better, so thank you. My question for you was, out of all of the costumes that you got to wear, what was your favorite?
The butterfly robe is so famous. Yeah. And then the one I wore at Starcade. And then the red one I wore against Steamboat in the red one against Steamboat in Chicago, and the blue one with the blue trim on it that we wore in Nashville.
Well, we love you so much, and we're so proud of you. Thank you so much for being here. I'm 22.
You married?
You still got it.
The final question, guys. Hello, Mr. Profiler.
Yeah.
I'm good. My question is, I know you alluded before with Lacey Evans that you had a whole storyline going. Now, are you able to say like where it was going to go? The whole Lacey Evans storyline?
Oh, I know where we're gonna go. Thank God she got pregnant. This was pushing, like he was pushing my button and that deal. Oh, yeah, I know what he had planned for me. Thank God she got pregnant. Oh, yeah, he loved that shit. He likes to have fun with me sometimes. I think sometimes he lives vicariously through me. Yeah. Not getting married for the 6th time. On national TV. Well, I mean, I
Where
was,
was
but.
that go towards? Was that another wedding?
What's that?
Was that where it's going to go towards the storyline?
Probably. You never know with him.
All right, well.
I'm surprised it didn't imply it was my baby. I don't know what wasn't there. My wife's calling me. Oh, my girlfriend.
Is your ringtone Ric Flair drip?
Yeah.
I couldn't think of a more perfect way to end this panel. Oh, it's going again. She's calling again.
Oh.
Before we wrap it up, and any final thoughts?
That's my partner reminded me to shut up. Good. Thank you so much for coming out, guys. I always love talking.
Woo! There it is!
Oh my God.
Hey, how's it going? You haven't been behaving yourself. You were Professor X yesterday, is that who you are today? That's it. Hey! Just different shoes and a new shoe. You having a good time? Oh, I'm having fun. Awesome.
It's an A-frame. Well, I took it all off though. Yeah, man, I wish I would have got a lot of people. Yeah, it was a 139.
But that gives you good flavor.
Yeah, oh yeah, no, it does.
I just saw somebody else who looks very uncomfortable.
Yeah. Something that we try to innovate to make it fun right now. But the arms, they're one thing about it. Activated.
Bicep. Forearm. That's what that was.
Yeah.
I need to be able to take my helmet off by myself. Well, for the most part, by yourself.
Yeah.
I'm one of those people like that too. I had to help my brother too. But luckily, it was just one difference. Other than that, if you want it,
Yeah, I did.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, well, my sister asked me.
Oh, that's what it is. Yeah, we go, oh no.
There was a bunch of other. I missed the whole Marvel thing. I thought I was trying to make it to. You went?
I missed the whole bunch.
Okay, all right.
Everything that I wanted to see as like panels and stuff was on the opposite end.
Okay.
And I'm like, I'm not going through all this to make it over here.
Yeah, buddy.
Oh yeah, stretch pose with the camera. Oh shit, son. Here's our last day. Oh shit, gotta look cool. Oh shit,
I can't kick in these pants. If it was any other clothing, my leg would be up here. But
well, we gotta stretch that bitch out so you can do that later. Like you knew we had to come and see you.
How you doing today?
A lot better than how yesterday was. Yesterday was insane. It was nuts.
I'm still waiting for somebody to tell me what was the count for yesterday.
Oh really? They don't have the tally up yet?
I didn't get it yet. A guest just told me that she heard it was around 80,000. And I was like, whoa, I'm definitely going to find out now. We were expecting between 30 and 50,000.
I mean, considering how they put a thing on their website saying, "Hey, go have luck finding a parking spot."
The check-in line was backed up to that wall and wrapping around it.
Wow.
We had to stop security right here and then exit before we let more people in. It was over. I'm hoping it dies down today.
Yeah, today looks like it's nice.
Like it is.
Yeah, today looks nice.
We got it. So nice seeing you again.
Good seeing you again. You look wonderful.
Thank you.
Really like
Yes.
that looks very nice.
I saw you the other day when I was in UK.
Yeah.
I interviewed with you. Yeah, exactly. Having a good time?
It's been a blast. I know yesterday was a little challenging. Everybody said it was the most amount of people they've ever seen.
I've never.
How many times did you come?
My second year.
Oh, is it really? Yeah, this is my second. I got lucky to come last year because a friend just came out of nowhere today. And then I got hit by the bug. I wanted to go and something. But it's good seeing you again. Hopefully I see you next year.
Yeah.
It would be Wolverine that knows where the right spots are. But behave yourself, Deadpool.
Yes, that is what I expected. More lines, less lines, but it's been cool to be a part of the game so far.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Hello. So when I met you yesterday, you were talking about auto, and then you were mentioning that, oh yeah, you were joking on like, oh, first season of ReZero, I'm gonna be auto.
Yeah.
And that you were joking, I forgot what it was, but like, oh, wouldn't it be really funny if I got like more dialogue and more important on season 2 and all that, and then it actually happened, and then like you became super important. So now, what are your expectations on that? Like, are you like, oh man, I'm stuck, I'm super important now? Like, do you expect anything for the next couple seasons now?
Yeah, I never expect anything, but I will say that was a hilarious moment that I had with the director. I play a character called Otto, the best wagon boy on a show known as ReZero, an anime. And yes, he appeared in the first season. He like rode off into a tornado or something. I don't know. He like just dipped out on the 18th episode. And then me and the director joked, I'm like, yeah, I bet he comes back as like the main character of season 2. We were like saying all sorts of theories. Oh, I bet he's like the main villain. And I knew in my like heart, like we're never gonna see this guy again. No way. And then he comes back for season 2, and it's actually one of like the main characters of season 2, which blew my mind. But yeah, I don't expect anything, but we'll see. Thank you. Yeah, thank you.
Hey Zach, my question as well is kind of like what you think would happen. If Tanjiro was in the world of Genshin Impact, how would that go?
How would that go? Let's see. Well, I don't know what he would do. I guess he would be what would he be? Like Hydro, but also Pyro? So maybe he could have like maybe he has like a split vision, like one water's on one side of it, fire's on the other side, and it makes like the circle.
Yeah.
I don't know what he would do. He would probably be very similar to the Traveler, I feel. He'd go around helping people with all of their tasks and not getting any sort of compensation for it. But he would be the best one. He'd be like, yeah, I'm gonna help you out. And then he wouldn't get anything.
That's awesome. Thank you.
Thank you. Hey, I'm doing good. How about yourself?
Fantastic. My question for you is what inspired you to get into voice acting and how did you go about getting auditions?
Yeah, so I'm actually a really big nerd. I don't know if you can tell. I loved Naruto. That is what actually made me want to be a voice actor. I was like, I think I was like 10 years old, 9 or 10 years old when I was watching Naruto and I saw it like air on Toonami. I watched Naruto, I saw some of Inuyasha as well. And yeah, I just really liked Naruto. I remember I found out what anime was, I had no idea. I was so confused. I'm like, whoa, what is this like genre of cartoon? This doesn't make any sense. What? Like this is so edgy and cool and it's kind of dark. Like some of the episodes are a little darker and I just really like that. And so I ended up binging like the entire season, and I looked at the voice actors, and I found that I'm like, whoa, this is interesting, because I came kind of from an on-camera background before as a kid. I used to do some like slight commercial work and print work, just on-camera stuff at 6 or 7 years old. My mom forced me. And yeah, I looked at the voice actors, and like, voice actors don't really look like their characters. This is so interesting. And then I watched the panel of like all the voice actors from Naruto online. And it was so cool to hear their voices like come out of like these actors.
Females.
Yeah. After like watching the show, I mean, it blew my mind. So that inspired me. And how I got auditions is I took a ton of voice acting classes, networked with people. I was a very determined 13, 14-year-old. I sent a ton of emails, got a 1-minute demo reel, sent it off. I got a bunch of teachers. I begged my parents for voice acting classes. That's all I wanted. It's like Christmas comes around, like all I want is a microphone. All I want is like a voice acting class. Please, please, please. My birthday, you guys don't have to get me anything for an entire like 3 years. Like I don't want anything else. Just this one voice acting class. And so they would get me a voice acting class that I really wanted, and I do all the research online. And then ultimately, like in 2014, I ended up going on to win a voice acting competition at Anime Expo. Got my first role in a show called Maki, the Kingdom of Magic. Yeah! And yes, you know it. Awesome! Yeah, and then it's been a big snowball ever since. The studio really liked me. Aniplex is also like the like licensing holder of that show, and Aniplex ended up going on to do Demon Slayer, and then that's how I got that audition. And yeah, here we are.
Awesome.
We are now in present time. Thank you for listening to my ramble.
That was super cool, thank you.
Thank you.
Hello.
Hey, what's up?
So, out of the Demon Slayer manga and anime, what's your favorite arc?
My favorite arc? Ooh, I don't know. But I will say I am excited for the Swordsmith arc. I won't go into it too much, but I think it's going to be really good. People have asked me, they're like, how long is the wait? And honestly, I have no clue. Otherwise, I'd probably be like telling some of you guys, so you're going to be like, yeah, it's coming soon. But I don't know. I'm going to assume maybe late this year or like even early next year.
Yeah, the Swordsmith is my favorite.
Yeah? Oh, that's awesome.
What's your favorite line, and can you say it?
Yeah, my favorite line is, water breathing, fit form, blessed rain after the drought. And then he like slices off the spider mom's head. Yes, that was his, yes, thank you. That was his one line where he's not like screaming, as I'm sure a lot of you saw in season 2. Yes, I did do the scream. It did sound like I was dying, and that is because I actually was. It was the most intense thing I've ever done. Hey, what's up?
Hi. So, similar question. What's your favorite quote that a character has said to Tanjiro, and can you say in Tanjiro's voice as if he's quoting it?
Aww. Yes, well, my favorite character, I'm like the character, Tanjiro, I loved when Rengoku said, "Set your heart ablaze, young Kamado." Set your heart ablaze, young Kamado.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hello.
My question is, aside from Demon Slayer, what is your favorite character to play for Mario Splash Bros?
Oh, my favorite character to play?
Yeah.
So yeah, of course you know I voice Violet in the game, and he is awesome. But look, there will be no judgment here in this room. I played Jigglypuff.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Hello, Zach.
Hey, what's up? Good to see you again.
Nice to see you again, too. I was gonna say, if you were ever wanted to be a voice character that you haven't done,
Yeah.
but like you wanted to do, what would that be? And like, it's like that one feeling like you like really like this character, and you look at it on TV like,
Yeah.
I really like this. That's me.
Oh my gosh. So I think there's one. I think being like a superhero would be really cool. Being able to be like jump in the shoes of someone like Spider-Man, or be like Robin from Batman. Yeah, no, that would be awesome. And then for like a series that I would love to be a part of, I would absolutely love to be a part of Avatar: The Last Airbender. Like, yeah. So cool. The animated series, of course, but beggars can't be choosers, so I will take whatever I can get.
Thank you, Zach.
Thank you.
What's your favorite character besides Tanjiro?
My favorite character? It's actually, so there's two. I like Inosuke. And, he's so crazy. It doesn't make any sense. There's this one scene where I think they had just gotten out of the mansion. I believe that was like episode 11, season 1, and they're like about to go down the hill or something, and Inosuke is just in the background, like hitting his head up against the tree. And it was so wild and random. I just started cracking up because they turned up the volume in the booth for me. So I have my headphones on and I listen to Bryce, who is the voice actor for Inosuke, and I just hear him going like, "Arr, arr," like hitting his, and it was so loud though, it scared the crap out of me. I'm like, and the director's like cracking up, and I look over and I see him through the window and he's like laughing so hard. Yeah, Inosuke, and then my favorite Hashira is actually Rengoku. Yes. It has to be. Thank you.
Hey, Zach.
What's up?
So my question is actually about 3 houses.
Yeah.
It's 2 questions.
question is just small. What's your best line? I know he doesn't talk much, but like, what's your favorite?
My best line?
Yeah.
Here is something to believe in!
Yeah. Is Violet gonna be the main villain in Three Hopes?
Have they stated that?
They showed a trailer where you're actually a different character.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, they showed a new character, and they say that that's the protagonist.
I don't know what you're talking about. I have signed my life away. I wish I could tell you, but I think I have to save it to be a surprise.
Okay,
thank you.
First of all, I saw you at WasabiCon. It's great to see you.
Yeah, great to see you again too.
And second of all, what is your favorite anime that you have not voice acted in?
Ooh, my favorite anime? Well, it's Naruto, actually. Yeah, I haven't done it, but I absolutely love it. Could you imagine, even if I got to be a part of Boruto, I would freak out. I'd be like, wow, full circle, right? Yeah.
Also.
That's amazing! Yes!
Thank you so much.
Thank you, you too.
Hi.
Hi.
Other than Red Goku, who would your other favorite Hashira be?
Ooh, my other favorite? It's so difficult. Maybe Shinobu?
Okay.
Yeah.
Who is his favorite demon?
My favorite demon? I think it's Akaza. I know, it's so funny. I'm like, how could I like him after what he did to Ren Goku? But I think his design is just super cool, you know, and I don't know, the character. I love the way Lucian Dodge, who's the voice actor for Akaza, portrays him. He does a really good job. Yeah, thank you.
Hello, I'm David. I just want to ask you, between voice acting from video games and like anime and movies, how do you like prepare yourself to do such things like that?
Right. Honestly, you don't. And the reason why, it's quite interesting actually. People will come up to me and say, yeah, like, you know, when you read through the script and you were practicing all your lines, you know, how did that make you feel? And like, you know how it made me feel was weird because I got the script 30 seconds before I do all my recording. So we, basically as voice actors, we have to learn how to cold read. They give us the script for the scenes and the lines we're gonna do pretty much right on the spot. The difference between like doing anime dubbing is we're matching to the already made animation. For video games, depending on what it is, or if it's like a JRPG, we will still match the time, so they'll play a line for us, or tell us that, hey, this line has to be 3 seconds long, 4 seconds long. And sometimes it has to be exactly that length, or just underneath that length. And then we'll match it, and it's just kind of like an audible thing. So at least when we're doing dubbing, we get to see the picture and, you know, kind of feel the scene, know what's happening. For video games, it's just like, you know, black and white script, maybe a picture of your character if you're lucky, and yeah, you just kind of like get through it. They're like, this one's 3 seconds, okay, this line's 2 seconds, this is a scream, a punch, a kick, your guy just got like hit in the stomach, you're like, ugh! You know, and like all sorts of different weird things. So, yeah.
Thank you very much. Have a wonderful time today.
Thank you, you too.
Hello, my name is Nassim, and the question kind of bounces off from him.
Yeah.
How would you prepare yourself, or kind of what's the process of an audition when it comes to anime?
Yeah, so usually what they do is they'll send you, depends on the studio, but for a lot of anime auditions, they send me a clip of like the Japanese version of the show, and they'll say, yeah, here's the character we want you to audition for, and they'll give you a script that goes exactly with that one clip. They don't expect you to dub it in the audition to like make it fit perfectly, but they just try to, you know, have you get that same essence of the character, the way that it was portrayed in Japan, and just kind of like do your own thing with it. But yeah, you do get to watch like a clip from the show at least to kind of like prepare yourself for it.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Hello, yes, Zach.
Hey again.
For my question is, what was your favorite moment, like your personal favorite moment in Demon Slayer?
Yes, my favorite moment is episode. Ooh, well actually, there's so many great moments in the movie. How many people here have seen Mugen Train? Oh wow, that's a lot. Love it. I love every moment where he kind of like reminisces on his family. I know there were a few in Mugen Train. My favorite moment in the series, it's hard to pick. Sorry, I'm like the most indecisive person ever. But I love the episode 19 where he fights Ruby, you know, like the whole speech, like, the bond between Nezuko and I! You know, that was amazing. And then I also like the end of season 2, which I will not spoil if you haven't seen it just yet. But there's a moment at the very end where he kind of relates two characters to him and Nezuko and how they could be in the same situation had it been for, you know, had it been just different choices. I mean, really, had he not been so lucky to, you know, find like Uro Kodaki and Giyu at the start of the series.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Hi, so I actually saw you at WasabiCon and someone had already asked you this.
Yeah.
But can you do a Paimon impression?
This is my Elmo impression. No, it sounds like Elmo.
Paimon is not emergency food! Paimon is emergency food! I talk a lot, maybe too much. Maybe I'll give the traveler some lines.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Love it.
Hi.
Hi.
What was your favorite line to say in the movie?
Ooh, my favorite line to say in the movie? I don't remember the exact line. It was this scene where he is in a dream and he sees his family again. Now, I don't remember the exact wording of it, but it was something like, you know, like, no matter what, I will still keep fighting, or something like that. And he's talking about, you know, his entire family being dead. Spoiler alert. If you haven't seen the first episode of the show. But yeah, I thought it was just a really cool scene, like really emotional. Thank you. It's funny because Lucian Dodge, who plays Akaza, actually told me he watched the movie with his family in New York. He flew back to New York and he spent some time with his family to watch the movie. And he's like, he was directing me on a show, and he said, I'll be honest with you, that scene, I cried. I cried. I was like, that's awesome. Thank you, Lucian. Hey, what's up?
What was your favorite scene in season 1?
My favorite scene in season 1? Oh, I loved when he fought Rui. You know, on episode 19, that was so cool. And then Nezuko finally like talks for the first time since episode 1. She's like, Black Demon Art, exploding blood. Oh, we hear her once.
I'm just a little nervous. Hi, I don't have a question, but I do have one question.
Yeah, what's up?
How was it like working with Bryce Papenbrook?
Oh yeah, he is a very energetic man. He's such a great guy. It was very surreal actually at first because I've known Bryce for a while. I've known of his work, so he was somebody who I had watched his shows before I even became a voice actor myself. I knew him as Kirito from Sword Art Online and Aaron from Attack on Titan. And yeah.
And Meliodas?
Yeah, and Meliodas. And then I got to be in Seven Deadly Sins too as Arthur Pendragon, Kingdom Camelot. So yeah, very surreal. So like, very surreal when we come out to these things. And now I know Bryce and we're talking about all sorts of stuff. And it's awesome. He's been a great mentor and someone who has kind of really helped push me in the right direction because there's sometimes like there are teachers for voice acting, but how to like navigate the world afterwards and like, you know, I mean he's awesome. He's a great guy. What is it? What's in the box? Oh, one of those Tanjiros. Yes, they make them. I think they have like almost every character, I believe. So,
I have every one of them.
yeah, I have those on my shelf. Like I stream on YouTube, and I have those on like the back of my like stream. They're very tiny though.
Thanks so much.
Yeah, thank you. Hello.
Can I ask you 2 things?
What is it?
One, do you know how long it will take for the last season, to dub?
Yeah, like you mean the very last season of Demon Slayer, or do you mean like the next season coming out?
The last season that's already out.
Oh, okay. So season 2 is technically already done, and they put it out on Funimation and Crunchyroll, I believe. But I don't know when it's coming to like Netflix and like Hulu, other streaming platforms. For the Swordsmith arc, that has not even been, like, I don't believe the production's been completed in Japan yet, so it'll probably be, like I estimate, 8 months, maybe a year, depending on, how things are and how quickly they're able to get it done, and then we'll probably dub it shortly afterwards.
Okay, second of all, did you do the voice actor for Tanjiro in the Hinokami Chronicles?
I did, yeah. It was a lot. They said, hey, we have a Demon Slayer video game. I'm like, that's great. They're like, yeah, you have thousands of lines. And I'm like, oh, that's cool. They're like, yeah, we're redoing the entire season and Mugen Train. Starting from episode 1, we have like a month. Good luck. It was a lot. It was super intense, tons of recording, but yeah, super fun. Thank you. I would like to let you know that also I am, out of the entire cast, this is a true statement, by the way, I am the best player of the Hinokami Chronicles against everyone else. I guess I have battled Alex, I have battled Bryce, I have completely destroyed them. They need to get good.
Hi,
Hi.
it's really nice to meet you.
Yeah, nice to meet you too.
I have one question for you, but before that, I want to tell you that I find you as the inspiration.
Oh, thank
I'm
you.
aspiring voice actor right now,
Yeah.
and I have a couple of comics coming out soon.
Oh, right on.
My friends. And I just want to let you know, like, you have been an amazing character that I've watched for, like, the Demon Slayer timeline and stuff like that. I've always been a really big fan of you.
Oh, thank you.
And I have one question.
Yeah.
Who do you main in Mario Kart?
Who do I main in Mario Kart? Oh my gosh, who do I play? I don't remember. I know I don't really main anybody. I'm always switching between so many different characters. Yeah, I played like Metal. I liked playing this Metal Mario. Is that what he was called?
I believe so.
I forget his
Forever, but thank you.
Okay,
Okay, so, two things.
Yeah, what's
First
up?
thing is, what was your favorite episode in season 2 of Demon Slayer?
My favorite episode, I think it was like episode 5. It was when he got to say one of my favorite lines, like my favorite line in all of season 2, where he got to say, "Set your heart ablaze!" And then, he's like reminiscing on Rengoku. I felt really strongly about it because Rengoku was my favorite Hashira, and they did him dirty.
Okay, second thing is, I heard you said you like Naruto. If you can be in any clan in Naruto, which clan would you be in?
Which clan? Uchiha. I have to. Yeah, thank you.
Hi.
Hi.
Who's your favorite Fatui Harbinger?
My favorite Batui Harbinger? Oh, jeez. I have no idea. I'm not sure. Because I destroyed them all. Who's your favorite Batui Harbinger?
Tartaglia.
Oh, Tartagalicious. Yeah. I guess. Yeah, I'll go with Child too.
Thank you.
I do it for Griffin. Thank you.
Hello.
Hi.
I have two quick questions.
Yeah.
Are you upset that those skate things are going to be in season 3?
Yeah, I mean, it is gonna be weird, I think, without them, don't you think?
Yeah, because they kind of give it it kind of makes it less serious. With them, it makes them less serious. And do you play Food Fantasy?
What is that?
Food Fantasy. It's an anime game.
No, I haven't played it.
2 of the characters in there, they're the Japanese voice actors of Tanjiro and Zenitsu.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, maybe they'll put me in. Have they done it in English yet?
Yes, they have.
Oh, they have? Well, never mind. That dream is done. Yeah, thank you. Oh no. The sword is intact. I promise. Oh, what was that?
Are you sure about that?
Yes, it is, I do not have it with me because it is in a very safe place. Somewhere here. Oh, it's right there, yes, there it is. Hello.
Hi, and who's your favorite demon besides
Oh yeah? I liked Rui, but maybe that's because I just love that scene so much. You know, the music was amazing, and it was just beautifully done. I remember episode 19 broke the internet. I don't know if you guys remember that, or if anybody has like Twitter. I'm sure a lot of you do. But I was going through Twitter, all I could see were people talking about episode 19. So, yeah, Rui.
Hi. Okay, I have two.
Yeah.
So the first one, what's your favorite anime opening, and could you sing it as Tanjiro?
My favorite anime opening, it is, let's see, it is Bluebird from Naruto. Do I know the lyrics? I do not, because it is in Japanese. Otherwise, I would attempt to.
That's okay. And my second one, so you know how you do like live streams with the Genshin cast? Would you ever like merge the Genshin cast and the Demon Slayer dub cast for like a stream?
That would be cool, yeah, possibly. I think you just gotta try to make sure everyone's available. You know, I've been trying to get some people on, who will not be named. I've been trying to get them on, but they're busy.
That's all, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Hey.
Out of all of your roles, were there any like lines that you were like, for lack of a better term, had like was like a brick wall to you? Like you had to repeat it over and over and over again until you like, this is the one.
Yeah, I did a live action dub thing before, and I kept saying like, yeah, it's a good thing we were able to get out of the whirlpool. And the director's like, no, you didn't say whirlpool right. I'm like, whirlpool? Yeah, it's like whirlpool. Like it just sounds, I don't know, it just sounds weird. Like you're saying whirlpool. Like it doesn't, there's something weird about it. Just keep saying it. So I kept saying whirlpool over and over and over again. Like whirlpool, whirlpool, whirlpool. Were you able to get out of the whirlpool? Whirlpool. Whirlpool. And I did that probably like 80 times. I did 8 takes for it because the director didn't like it. He used the second take. In the end. Yeah.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, I have 2 questions. One of them is, what are ways that you create multiple distinct characters and personalities using only your voice?
Oh, what was that? Like creating different characters using
Only your voice.
using only my voice. Like if I were to use my own voice, how do I kind of like create different personalities for them? I think it's just all about intention. There are a lot of voice actors who just use their own voice, and you know, just like intention, way of talking. Sometimes you'll notice that like eviler characters will have this like breathy quality to how they talk. And of course, I changed my voice a little bit, but it's still pretty much me. And you just kind of like slow down on the speech. So yeah. Otherwise, I just do this voice. Yes.
And my second question is, besides Ether and Lumina, what's your favorite Genshin character?
My favorite character is Ganyu. Yes. She is OP. I have her at C1 with the Amos bow. It's awesome. I do my dailies in 5 minutes. Thanks for your question. Love your cosplay.
Yeah, thank you. So, first off, I just want to say congratulations on beating Dragon Ball Super Broly at the box office in North America.
Oh, yes, thank you.
That was crazy.
Yeah.
Especially during a time period where everybody had to be forced at home. So,
Yes, I am the legendary Saiyan warrior. It is me, Christopher Savage. Welcome to my family. Hello.
I'm assuming you meant Demon Slayer?
Yeah, the Demon Slayer.
Oh, yeah.
It beat it at the box office.
Yeah, I know it did. It was insane, right? Funny enough, I recorded the entire Demon Slayer movie from my house during the pandemic, which was wild. They're like, yeah, can you do this from home? I'm like, we're still doing production? Okay.
People gotta watch their anime.
I'm like, yeah, sure.
So my question is, I just got finished watching My Hero Season 6, and I just got him a good versus fight. Tanjiro versus Deku. Who would win and why?
I mean, do you think I of all people would say Deku?
Well, Deku is physically more stronger.
Well, that's your opinion, isn't it? Would love to see that. Yeah, where's Justin? Somebody pull him away from his table. Bring him up here. Hey, what's up?
Hi. This is sort of a mix between a Demon Slayer and a Genshin Impact question. How do you think Zhao would react if he knew that Nezuko was a demon?
My mind is blown. I don't know. Nezuko must still be protected. Is what I believe, yes. Yeah. Hopefully nothing bad will happen. Yeah.
Hi, do you know how to do any of like the female voice impressions from Demon Slayer or Genshin? And can you do them?
Yeah, of course. So for Nezuko, you know, like, I mean, don't tell Abby Trott this, the voice actor of Nezuko. I could probably take her job if I wanted to, but, you know, yeah, like, here, like, you know, I don't know if you guys can tell I sound absolutely just like her, so, you know, yeah. And then I go, yeah, and then, let's see, forget what some of the, what does Ganyu say? I hear her all the time talking about, you know, whatever. I have phased it out now because, you know, she's my main character. But yeah, I don't know.
I just try to put my voice up a little higher. It sounds just like them.
Alright, thank you.
Yeah. Sorry.
Hi. I have two questions.
Yeah, what's up?
What did you personally think when you found out what they were going to do to Rengoku?
Yeah, I was not happy. We all cried during production. We really did. My director, I had never heard him like cry or get like super emotional over any scene in like the show or anything. But this was the one where, you know, we did the final scene with Rengoku, and all I heard, because this was just like, I was recording this from my house, and so I had my headphones on, we were connected over the internet basically, and I did my take, didn't hear anything for like 20 seconds, then I hear,
Moving on. And the second question is going to be a little weird. How do you feel that you can Google yourself and it just pushes up?
yeah, it is interesting, isn't it? I don't know exactly how to feel, you know, because I feel like such a normal person, and to like my family, I'm super normal. I go out and like get groceries during the day, and you know, I've only ever been stopped or recognized like a few times, or like in an airport or something like random. But yeah, it's weird for sure. I try not to think too much about it.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. That's a good question though. Yeah.
Hello.
Hey.
I wanted to know, what is your favorite breathing style?
Ooh, my favorite breathing style. My favorite breathing that he did was, you know, the blessed rain after the drought. I think for a voice actor, sound breathing would make the most sense.
Like Tengen?
Yeah, just like Tengen.
By the way, I think I can do Nezuko better than you.
You might be able to. But can you go, hold on a sec, can you go? Okay, you beat me.
So, like, it's on topic, but off topic. For the disastrous life of Psyche Kang,
Yeah.
Jet Blackwing, if he actually had any powers, do you think he'd actually use them?
Oh, Kaido?
Yeah.
I feel like the world would be in ruin if he did. Yes.
Hi.
Hi.
What's your least favorite color?
My least favorite color?
Genuine question, by the way.
I don't know, like, swamp green?
Horrible taste.
Hello.
Hi.
I have 2 questions.
Yeah.
The first one, in Demon Slayer, if you were a character, would you be a demon or a Hashira?
Ooh, good question. You know, I think I have a little like evil in me, deep within me. It'd be cool, I think, to be a demon, but maybe that's because I played, you know, being a demon slayer. So that might be why. I just want something, you know, a little different.
And then the second question is, if you were on a stranded island with one other character, who would it be?
Zenitsu, if he's sleeping. Only if he is asleep.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, 5 minutes.
Okay, cool. Let's try to do one question only, please, okay?
Sounds good. How are you doing? This question, shoot. In terms of 3 houses, what house did you pick?
I think the Blue Lions. Yes.
Fear the deer.
Fear the deer. Yeah, no, Vlad's a great choice too.
Thank you.
Yeah, had to go with the edgy boy with the eye patch.
So during the pandemic, it became more common for voice actors to be recording from home, and I often wondered, how does that, like, what actually happens there? What's the logistics of that? How does that work?
Yeah, it's wild. I bought a whole like recording booth setup that is like 1,500 pounds. It's a pre-built booth. I went out, I got a Neumann microphone to try to match the studio sound. I have a preamp to match like the sound as well. And then, yeah, we record over a program called Source Connect. They send us the script and we're like watching the video that we're dubbing to over Zoom. Zoom saves the day.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Hey Zach, I love your streams, by the way.
Yeah,
One
thank
of your
you.
streams, you were talking to one of the Genshin cast about your like beta ether voice.
Yeah.
Have you had any other situations where you come in thinking this is how the voice is going to be, and then when you like do it, they're like, yeah, like bring it back or do it more?
Right. It was, one of them was for Genos, funny enough. Not necessarily the same thing, but when I played Genos in One Punch Man, I kind of did more of a cinnamon roll boy voice for him, like, you know, like, incinerate, and then, like, once they kind of got me in the booth, they're like, how low can you make your voice? Because they heard me, like, messing around doing, like, my low voice or whatever, and they're like, make it a little bit lower, and so then we brought it down to, like, incinerate. And so then they kept it at that, and that was what they chose. That's just one example. There are a lot of different times where I think that it's going to be one way, and it's definitely another.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you.
Hi, I was just wondering, who's your favorite, I know it's like a big question because the cast is huge, but who's your favorite Three Houses character?
My favorite Three Houses character is, funny enough, Shamir.
Honestly? Good
Yeah.
choice.
Thank you. What up?
Hi. What do you think was the saddest part in the series or in the movie, other than Rengoku dying?
Yeah. Rest in peace. He is now donut in Donut Land. Yeah, the saddest part was honestly when he was in that dream. There was a dream where he sees his family again, and he sees all of them, you know, and they're like running through the snow, and he realizes it's a dream, and he's like, I have to get out of this dream. I have to run away. I can't live in, you know, a fantasy. I have to go back to the real world. And I mean, you know, I thought that was really sad. Yeah, that was the saddest one. I don't know in the series. Maybe when his entire family dies in the first episode. That sucked. Yeah.
Okay. Out of all, here, real quick question. Out of all the other upper moons, other than Akaza or just any demon, what is your second favorite?
It was Rui.
Rui?
Yeah. Cool.
Okay. Well, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Hi. Can I ask you to say something? Can you say vengeance will be mine, for Eula? In Tanjiro's voice?
Vengeance will be mine! Vengeance.
Vengeance.
Who do you think would win in a fight, Inosuke or Bakugo?
Yeah. Well, interesting characters going at it. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, I'm supposed to be on Team Inosuke, right? I don't know, I think Bakugo would be trying to make sense of Inosuke. Even though I know Bakugo's a little wild himself, he'd be like, what is this guy? So maybe Inosuke would have a little bit of an upper hand. Be an interesting fight for sure.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Greetings, Professor.
Anything to report?
Hey. How was it like working with the Seven Deadly Sins?
Super cool. Yeah, I loved being a part of it. The entire cast had been working on the show for a while, and everyone was going into the studio saying, I'm in Seven Deadly Sins. Are you in Seven Deadly Sins? I'm like, no, I'm not in it. They're like, oh yeah, cool, we're on episode 20 or something. I'm like, yeah, I guess I'm not in it or something. And then I got put in as Arthur at the very end. It was a lot of fun. No, it's a good series. If you haven't checked it out, everyone, you should watch it. It's on Netflix.
Awesome, thank you.
Yeah, and you. Hi.
How do you feel about Beto having more lines than
You know, he might have more lines, but his voice actor only plays one character. Does his voice actor
Also play the moon carver? I think not.
He does lower that voice pretty good.
Paimon is not emergency food!
Paimon is emergency food!
Thank you.
Thank you.
Alright, Zach, will you send us off with your favorite line?
Oh yeah. What is my favorite line? Windblade!
Zach, I can heard.
Thank you guys so much for coming. It's been amazing out here in Orlando, and I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your time here at the convention. I will be at my table signing and would absolutely love to meet you. If you think of a question in the meantime or weren't able to ask your questions, I would love to see you at my table in the, whatever that hall is called. Yes, have a great rest of your convention, guys.
We're almost there. Hey, what's up, bro? Yo, what's up, bro? What's up? Yeah, that's dope. That was the odds. I'm looking back, I'm like, oh, Lord have mercy. Oh, man.
Did it just stop? Did it just stop? Good thing nobody was behind it.
I was like, oh shit, I just got lunch.
Welcome to IQ right off the bat, Orlando. How y'all doing? This is our last Cosplay Red Carpet of the weekend. You probably have a few people who have walked the carpet before, but because it's such a wonderful experience, they are back for more. Under the watchful eye of the wonderful Mr. Jeff Jenkins. Let's hear from Mr. Jeff Jenkins, our photographer. Doing such wonderful work throughout the weekend. So here's how this is going to work. All of our wonderful cosplayers have filled out a little card. They're going to hand me the card. They're going to vlog like absolute crazy as they walk over to this box and do justice. So that goes something like this, this, who knows? Probably better than I'm doing right now. And then when I call the next day, they will receive off the carpet, down here. Any questions? Anybody need it? Answer, am I doing this well? I got the thumbs up, so I haven't screwed up yet. Let's keep this going. And let's get off to the races. Oh, I don't know this guy.
And I didn't know what materials to go with.
Syndra would be good. It's light and it's super solid.
And it was called what again?
Syndra?
It's a brand name of, there's some other brand names that go by, but that's what I used to call it. Okay. So I'd be able to put that in.
We're always happy to share.
So this is better for like when it comes to like painting and whatnot?
Well, it depends on like the soft foam, the EVA foam is easy to use. It's easy to cut and kind of easy to shape, but then painting it is a lot more difficult compared to this stuff. This stuff, as soon as it's shaped, you might want to clean up the edges a little bit, but it's ready to paint. You don't have to heat seal it or plastic dip it or any of that other nonsense.
I'm not gonna worry about this with.
Honestly, that's not even easier with.
Oh, you want a picture?
Since there's no rounded real edges except for where you're folded right here.
Exactly.
So my usual thing is...
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, get in there. Thank you. That mask came out great.
Well, this is the closing off point of MegaCon 2022. It was great. It was great. I enjoyed it. Go check it out on Instagram, #MegaCon. Go check out my Instagram, Mr._Valero. Go check out his Instagram, Puermero. Get it rolling.
Yeah. You're so happy. Coño. Coño.